everyone. Welcome your faces. Welcome to the ASCLEMR YouTube channel. Now, today's video we've got some pasta, as per every time we try and record an eating video. Something like that. We've got pasta with a little bit of chorizo and a tomato sauce that I make. I have it every time because it's a really quick meal, to make for when I want to record a video like this. And it's been a while since we've done like a sit down, eat my dinner and ramble. I used to do these all the time, but yeah, it's been a bit of a while at the minute. I'm quite ahead on videos, or I was quite ahead on videos up to this week. Next week, sorry. So I've got this week's done. Next week's I need to get done. Obviously, the Friday FIFA videos will still be coming. But I record them as and when I record the bits. I haven't actually recorded any this week. But before we get into this video and I start eating my dinner, please click the like button and subscribe. We're on our way to 20k. I keep forgetting whether I set 20 or 25 as a goal. 25 doesn't look achievable, but 20 does. So, we're doing it, boys and girls. We're doing it. We're going to attempt to get to 20k this year. We're so close to 18k. It's taken us like 2 months to get, a month and a half, I'd say. Let me see if I can get my analytics up. Audience, is it on there? Subscribers in custom. I want 1st of September, 1st of Jan till the 12th of Feb. 300 subs. Okay, but wait, what? 300 subs. There was 11,000 unique viewers. Sorry, no, there wasn't. There was 32,000 unique viewers. Mental. Guys, come on, click that subscribe button. We could get so many more subscribers if you just click a button. It's nice and easy. And you'll get content like this. Really, I'm trying to vary my content nowadays. I'm really trying for you lot to just push out whatever I can try and get hold of and see if it does well. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm hungry, so let's just go ahead and mix a bit of this sauce in, because I added a bit more sauce at the end. Listen to this. No comment. We all know the vine we're thinking of. But as you can tell from the title, shock, horror. I'm having my foot amputated. I'm not having my foot amputated at all. I'm having a part of my foot taken off. Sounds drastic, I know. But basically, through some form of trauma, whether that be me just playing football for a while or a number of years, or as a kid I did break my foot. Well, the foot / ankle, basically the metatarsals, basically snapped in my foot when I was doing long jump, believe it or not. There's a whole story there. You know what, we'll go into it, we've got time. Oh, this is really good. That hurt my teeth. I've got every so often, I don't know if you'll be able to see, I've got big chunks of chorizo as well as little bits of chorizo, so I've got bits that are a little bit more crispy and some that are a little bit more chewy. But yeah, so cast your mind back to 2010. I'd have been 13, so maybe 2011-ish, maybe-ish. That would have been about right. me being the athletic kind, wanted to get into my school's athletic team, which I was doing alright. I'd already been once for long jump. I love long jump. Basically, the two things that I'm really good at is sprinting as fast as I can and just gunning for it. And then once you get to the line, just fucking yeet yourself into the air and land in a sandpit. What's not to love? Do you know what I mean? So, with that being said, I'd stayed late. Now there was this gentleman at school who won't name. Unnamed. He will remain unnamed. He was one of those people that were just a bit of a dickhead. Do you know, one of them people that are just around school that are just knobheads for no reason. And they're a knobhead to everyone, so at least it's equal. Do you know what I mean? So he decided, here you are. I mean, it was funny, I suppose. But in my school, it was like the actual running bit before you got to the sandpit to jump into it was sort of like recessed into the ground, and it was just like hard, gravelly, concretey stuff. It was like this red sort of like sandy stone, and a big white chalk mark. And I was running, and I was like, you know what? I've only got a couple goes left before we go home. I'm just gonna yeet it. I'm just gonna send it. So here's me going, running as fast as I bloody could, which is fast. Like, I don't think you understand how fast I actually am. I'm quite rapid. So I was legging it, and this kid decides that he wants to like step in the way to try and slow me down. But at that point, I'm running, heads down. I look up, and he's like about maybe like 5 meters away. And at that point, I think, fuck, I don't think I'm going to stop because it's loose, gravelly. It's not loose, but it's like, got bits on top of it, so it's like relatively slippy. So I think, it's alright, I just slow down and run past him, like, and not jump. It's being a dickhead, it's fine. So I do that. As I do that, obviously I mentioned that it was recessed, but I forget. So I take a step to the side, and my ankle, so as I'm like this, I'm running, my ankle catches the side and goes, and all these tendons, the ones that you see here, but on your foot, just sort of slip one way, and then, like, I don't know, maybe there was bits of bone in my foot. I think they mentioned when I went for an x-ray, I think there was like little floaty bones around, but it was mental, like it was painful. Either way, broke my ankle, slashed my foot, and was in a cast for like 6 to 8 weeks. Fast forward to today. I mean, I'm assuming that that's probably the cause of it, mixed with the fact I played a lot of football even after that. I've just been buffing a football, hitting a football as hard as I can, pretty much. So, cut to the present day. Do I want to show my feet? I was going to, like, get my feet up at a funny angle, like with my socks on, obviously, but I'm not going to. But if you imagine that's your foot, right, and you've got your ankle, it comes down, around about here, you have a joint in the midsole of your foot. I think you have like a few joints or whatever. On mine, obviously you've got the joint for this bit. You can't see it. You've got a joint for like this bit and a joint for that bit. Okay, and the bit in the middle is your joint. Right. I've got a bone growing up. Apparently it's quite common. It's just a little bone spur. But it's quite hefty. In a sense that it ain't just a little bone spur. Now what it is a bone spur, is my tendon, like, imagine that's the like little knob, like the bit bone, like, I was always told it was a ganglion, which is like a big, like, relatively solid air sac, or a bit of fluid, that builds up, and they either give you an injection for it, or you can twat it, like, really hard, it'll burst, and it'll, like, you know what I mean? So, there has been an occasion where I've caught it, or I've hit it, and it hasn't done that, and it's really hurt. So I went back to the doctors for it and said, look, something needs to be done because this is hurting. But yeah, sorry, like I was saying, so the actual bone bit that goes up, it's running over my ligament, which is when I'm on my feet, which I am a lot of the day. I'm like 9 hours on my feet every day. it's like every time I move my feet, it's rubbing against it, which is causing it to swell. Which is then making it uncomfortable to have boots and shoes on, which is terrible. Because I need boots and shoes on when you're out and about. But also, there's a fat nerve that runs at the bottom of your foot. And they've said from the x-rays and the scans that they did, it could potentially, if it gets worse, which it may do, it may not do, we're not sure yet. But if it does get worse, there is a slight possibility that it can impede that nerve. And then at that point, I won't walk because it's fucked. Like, that would be agony. And luckily, I'm not at that stage yet. But I am at the stage where if I'm on my feet for like Monday through Wednesday, Thursday, by the time I do hit Thursday and Friday, my feet are fucking killing. I mean, even at the end of a day like today, it can hurt. And there's times where I'm at work and I'm leaning or I'm walking or I'm bending down or whatever. And I can't stand up straight on it. I have to sort of curve my foot round so I'm not putting pressure on this bit. So I walk like that at the minute. Whereas this one's walking normally. If I walk normally, I can literally feel it's like it just presses and it's like, oh, it's agony. Like, the way I can describe it is if you've got when you go to click your elbow and you can just feel like a bit of a ball of like crap. And it's that like painful, but if you just keep doing it, it will crack. Imagine that, but that's bone, so it won't crack. Do you know what I mean? So it's that pain, but in my foot. Do you know what I mean? This is so good. Like MasterChef 2.0. This is bloody good. Anyway, like I say, I was told it was a ganglion. Went to go see a foot specialist to get rid of it because it was doing me head in. So went to the hospital. And he looks at me and he went, right, what are you doing here today? And I was like, oh, I've been told I've got a ganglion. I'm just looking I'm just wondering if there's like an injection to get rid of it, or if you just, whatever you do, just like, I need to see how you get rid of it. And he took one look at my foot and he went, well, that's not a ganglion. And I went, what? And he went, have you had an x-ray done? And I went, yeah. And he goes, oh, let's pull it up. So he pulls it up and he goes, no, that's quite clearly a bone. Who the fuck told me it was a ganglion? Anyway, he said to me, look, I can give you a steroid injection, see if it helps with the swelling and see if the bone basically is actually quite small and it's actually a lot of the swelling that's making the issue. So give me a steroid injection to see if it'd help. And then sent me for more x-rays that day. He said, literally go around the corner, I'll send you to x-ray now, get a few more done so that in a couple of weeks' time when you come back, we can revisit it and see what's necessary. So I was like, right, okay, no worries. So I had to take the day off work because I'd had a steroid injection in my foot. My foot was burning. And he was like, yeah, try not to be on your foot for the rest of the day. I was like, I've got work. Anyway. So, cut forward to a few weeks later. I've had my extra x-rays done. The steroid injection did fuck all. Absolutely fuck. If anything, it put me off my feet for like a day, so that's even worse. So I went back, and he was like, yeah, I wasn't necessarily expecting the steroid injection to do too much. I was just seeing if it did alleviate anything. Just like an alternative. And I was like, fair enough. It's easier to go for the easy option first and then revisit it. So I went back about 2-3 weeks ago now, start of January. No, mid-January it was. And he goes, right, how have we been getting on? And I was like, well, over Christmas, not too bad because I wasn't on my feet, but before Christmas, agony. Because it was hurting and I'd worked a lot up until Christmas. And it was just getting to that point where I was like waiting for that Christmas period to give my foot a break. I'm having issues with my hips and my knees anyway, and it was just so cold before Christmas that I was like, it's killing me. So I went back and he said, right, sorry, actually no, it was a lady, it was a nurse. And she said, yeah, I've got a feeling that he's going to want to operate on it. And I was like, alright, okay. Cool, no worries. Yeah, minor. Happy days. And so he said, so the male surgeon came in and he was like, yeah, we're probably going to need to operate on it. From your other x-rays that we took, which is why I had more x-rays done. it says it is really pressing up against your ligaments, and it is getting close to your nerve in your foot. Basically, it's causing a little bit of like, so the nerve that runs underneath. So because my joint's there, I've got this extra bone here. It's sort of causing them to like recess down and that go up. It's like almost, instead of it just going up like that and pushing in my skin, it's sort of like trying to equalise itself, and it's pushing this down and that up. So that malarkey. Anyway, it's painful nonetheless. And it doesn't have anywhere near the flexion it should. He said you should be able to at least like put pressure on that bit, but it's like rock solid. And it does it anyway. So he says we're going to do a small. What we're going to do is get your foot. Imagine these are my toes. He says we're going to do a small incision across, and we're just going to shave it off bit by bit. And I was like, yeah, calm, happy days, do what you need to do. And he says you will be awake. And I said, fuck. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to be awake. I haven't had the operation done yet. But basically, he says, as much as it is a minor operation in terms of the actual surgery, is not particularly complicated. There aren't too many complications to it, luckily. He said, of course, we've got to be careful of your ligaments. And of course, we've got to be careful of your nerve in your foot. Typical foot operation, you know what I mean? There's plenty of bones and ligaments and that in your foot. But he did say, he says you're going to need at least like 4 to 8 weeks off work. Yeah, I can afford that, can't I? Yeah, I can afford 4 weeks off work. I've just bought a house. Fucking hell. So my 4 weeks holiday that I get this year are being used in March, which means I've got, what's that doing very much? 3 quarters of the year where I've got no holiday at work. Kill me now. Kill me. Regardless, I have got income protection, so that if I do need more than 4 weeks off, my life insurance will cover me. Because I made sure to take it out, just because I wanted to take it out and be fully covered for anything. They always say like it's cheaper when you're younger anyway, so I thought I might as well take it just in case it happens. Lo and behold, this has happened since like just before Christmas. So it just means you guys in March, well, mid-March to mid-April to end of April, I don't know how long I'm going to have off yet. You might get quite a bit of content. You might have plenty of streams during the day and during the night. Yeah, so I went for my pre-op last week. And there was this lovely lady. Quite stern. Quite blunt. Didn't really have much of a sense of humour. Let's put it that way. Or if it was quite a dead sense of humour. She said to me, yeah, you got to have at least 4 weeks off, so she put me in for 4 weeks off. I don't know whether I'll get my doctor's note just before I go for the operation or after I've had it, sort of thing. And she basically said, yeah, we'll give you crutches. So I've got my crutches. They're ready to take in. And when I have this op done, it's not going to be for another month or so yet. But yeah, I've got my date for it. I'm not going to tell you guys, because what's the point? Yeah, so she was quite stern anyway. She said basically, stay downstairs, sleep on the sofa, this, that, the other. And I said, well, actually, I've got a bit of a plan because, pardon me, up here I've got my setup. I can have my feet up because that's a big thing. They said you need to have your feet up for at least 2 weeks. So, feet up on the desk, chilling out playing games. I've got my I've got my mini fridge down here so I can keep fluids up. I can keep I can get my big bottles of drink and just fill it full. I can keep food in my fridge. Becky said she'll bring the toaster up so I can have bread and toast and just live off toast, and then when she's out in the morning, well, she'll do me like a flask in the morning for hot drinks, or bring the kettle up or something because she's got a coffee machine downstairs she can use. I've got my shower, I've got my bathroom, I've got a bed in here, so I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you guys see that? You didn't see that in the anyway, that side of the room's got a bed. Well, it's got a mattress in it, so I can sleep, low down to the ground, keep my feet up. It's like the perfect plan at the minute. Perfect plan. And I said to the woman, obviously because of where I work, not that you guys know where I work, but we have access to wheelchairs quite a bit. Not that we can take the wheelchairs, but it was just a friendly joke that if I needed one, I could probably nab one. That's the sort of humour I went with. And she went, "No, you will not." And I went, "Okay." She went, "Having a wheelchair will encourage you to go out, and your feet will be down in these wheelchairs, and you need your feet up. So no, I do not recommend it." And I was like, "It's just a joke." I'm sorry. Have I offended you? I was just trying to make polite conversation, you know. Because she was asking me about my work when it came to like needing time off anyway. I finished that, I've absolutely gulped that down. But yeah, so that's me. I'm having an operation soon. I actually don't think I'm going to be able to do it for the first couple of days because she said, right, so they're not sure what they're doing yet in terms of injections. They said they will inject my foot 100%. That has to happen because it has to numb your foot. And she said that will be good because you may be able to hobble about for the first couple of days. And, you know, getting up and downstairs, you'll have like movement of your foot and your leg. It will be sore and tender, which is why they're giving me, you know, paracetamol, ibuprofen, and morphine for the first couple of days or the first week or something. It'll be fine. But she said they may, depending on how much bone they think they're going to shave off and how long they said it's going to be between like a 2 to 3 hour operation. Bearing in mind, I'm going to be awake and all I'm going to hear is of just bone getting shaved off, and I'm going to feel sick and I'm going to pass out. It's going to be horrific because I don't do shit like that. Like I passed out when I had my finger operated on. When I first started this channel, if you go back all them months and years, you will see one of my first videos I had a bandage on my finger. The story behind that is I got glass in my finger. A year later I couldn't move my finger, there was no movement in it, and it was just swollen permanently. Turns out they did a ultrasound and I had loads of bits of glass in my finger. So they just cut me open, opened it up, saline solutioned it, and just went washed out all the glass, and look, I've got movement of my finger again. It's still not like 100%, but it's better than that. Anyway, when they cut that open, obviously you can't feel the pain, and it is relatively numb, but you can still feel it. And when I felt it, it was like, right, imagine cutting into raw chicken. Do you know that sort of like grippy sort of texture? That's what I felt on my finger, and I passed out. No shame in it, it was fucking weird. They're going to do that with my foot, except they're going to be... I'm going to pass out so quickly, it's unbelievable. So I'm taking my headphones in, hopefully if they let me, and I'm just going to zone out, and I'm just going to like think happy thoughts, listen to some drum and bass. I can't listen to some drum and bass in there, can I? I get my heart rate going too much. Can you imagine that? Just raving out, and they're like, "Sir, can you please calm down? We're trying to operate on your foot." But yeah, it's going to be terrible. But yeah, where I was going with that is, so they could, potentially, if they think it's going to be a longer operation and like, it's going to take a bit more oomph, they can inject you from the knee down. And she said if they do that, bless, because you really won't feel much at all. But it may stay like that for like 2 or 3 days and you won't have control over like the bottom of your leg. So getting upstairs is going to be like, you're going to be walking like... She said it'll be really, really strange. Whether it's like for a day or maybe a couple of days, I don't know how long it lasts, but yeah. So I've got that to look forward to next month. You guys may see quite a bit of content. I think after the first week, I'm going to be back up to my normal self. It's just going to be a case of resting my foot. Probably the major thing is not being on your feet. I think after the second week, you can start to hobble about. I'm going to have to read the leaflet again because it's either the second or third week. You can really start to like hobble about, but not on your feet for too long. 4 to 6 weeks is that period of Yeah, maybe a little bit, maybe not. I'm on my feet for 9 hours a day. I'm going to have to get a chair from somewhere, I think. And I'm going to have to speak to work and see what they say. Anyway. It's going to be tough. You guys are going to see a lot of content. So yeah, just leave a comment down below what content you want to see, because I'm going to be able to get to it, I suppose. Hopefully, if I'm not in too much pain. Like I said, the first couple of days are going to be painful. I'm just going to chill out. Potentially, I'm going to restart Harry Potter. I'm midway through playing it already. I think by that time I might have finished it. So, yeah, hopefully by then I can start a new character, stream like throughout the day, record at night, things like that. My sleep schedule is probably going to be fucked. I need it not to be fucked because in fact, no, I need it not to be fucked so that when Becky gets home from work and has dinner, I can eat, and when she has breakfast, I can eat. During the day, when it's bright outside, I can get a little bit of sunlight at me. But yeah, it's going to be tough. I think she was like, you'll be bored within a day, and I was like, I really won't be. And she was like, yeah, you will. Everyone says this. Trust me, you'll be bored. You'll be bored out of your mind. You won't be able to hack it. And I was like, pro gamer move. I will be lavishing this because I'll be able to just sit in front of this, play my games, record, stream, get ahead on videos, plan shit. I won't be out spending money. I won't be on my feet at work. And hopefully, the issues in my feet will be fixed. Now, with that being said, on one of the X-rays, just as like a epilogue to this, on one of the X-rays, he did say that it looked like there was quite a bit of damage around that joint. From the top view down, he said I can see quite a bit of damage, but he doesn't know whether that's just the refractions in the X-ray, given the fact the bone's above it. It could just be the way that the X-rays have hit that bone and gone as it's like taken the image, and they won't know more until they've taken this bit of bone off. Or it could be the fact that that's what's caused the bone to grow, is the fact that I've got a bit of trauma around that joint that I just never knew I had. I mean, I broke my toe and I broke my ankle, so it could be bits of trauma that's led to that. Hey, who knows? So without further ado, I hope you guys have enjoyed.